Well, good afternoon, folks. It's the 21st of March, 2024. Here with Edward in my travels today. I'm south of Three Rivers, Michigan, American Legion Post 170 in Kalamazoo. You seen the tank that we have there, the M-60. Down here, they have an M-42 Duster. Now these Dusters, they mount twin L60 40mm Bofors cannons, the types that were used aboard ships in World War II and even afterwards, even during Vietnam. But they dismounted some of these cannons and they were mounted on wheeled vehicles that they would use in the both Pacific and in the ETO in Europe. They fired a 1.5 pound projectile, knocked things out of the air about 3,000 meters away. They were deadly. They even have an L70 version, a little longer barreled version out of the C-130H Spooky gunships that fly today. Back here, this was thunk up. They decided to take a tank chassis and put a gun tub on the top of it, and that's what it is. It's an open gun tub where the men would load the racks of 5 rounds of high explosive incendiary, high explosive armor-piercing ammunition into those magazines that you can see right here at the very top, the little racks just sticking up. And then they would lock and load and aim and fire, and its role anti-aircraft, of course, but they found out that it was very effective against bunkers and troops in the barricaded areas and so forth. And so they brought these to Vietnam. And these Dusters were hell on wheels. They found that they would not attract attacks from the Viet Cong. The Viet Cong thought that the convoys that these would be escorting, if they had a Duster, they lay pretty low. It took a lot of guts to come out and come up against a convoy if Dusters were protecting them. They also had M113 personnel carriers that had Vulcan cannons on them, M61 20mm, the Gatling guns. But these Dusters would really tear some things up. I've read quite a bit about them. This is the only one I've ever seen way down here in Three Rivers, Michigan. Of course, it's the L60. The barrels are just 60 calibers long. You take 40mm, multiply it by 60, and that's the length of these barrels. The 70s would be 70 calibers in length. So there'd be, these right here, about another 10.5 inches or so, I think it worked out, or 11.5 inches of barrel length. But that's enough to give it even more velocity and greater range and accuracy. So most of the ones that you would ever come up against today would be the 70s, the longer barrels. And again, you can see the, maybe I can zoom up just a little bit. Here you can see right up here where they'd load the ammunition racks. And so there you have it, the M-42 Twin Duster. And believe you me, I've read more than one story about these protecting not only convoys in Vietnam, but bases as well. And if one of these opened up, it would just tear things to pieces 1,000 meters deep, unless it hit something really big. Then it would explode and kill anything around it. So yep, you wouldn't want to go up against one of these. See, the end of the barrels have been spiked, meaning that they've been corked up, welded shut. The weapon can never be used again. And it looks just fine right here on display. These little fingers that are around the ends of the barrels, those are flash deflectors and blast deflectors. These have a real pop when they go off. Boy, they're very powerful. And those deflect the blast and the flash off to the sides. Because if it didn't, it would really shake things up out here in front. And that's why you have muzzle brakes on cannons and so forth as well, is to reduce recoil and the blast effects that it dissipates them off to the side. So that's what those are. And that's what this is right here at post 170. We have Old Glory there, not much wind today. Also the POW MIA flag flying below it. And the M-42 Duster. I'll be right back. Now right here on the property they have the Patriots Garage right back here. Open Saturdays 9 to 4. Come in here and vets will help vets repair vehicles. Got a little Hummer over here and so forth. Here's where you can come and retire your flags. And so I have something here that I picked up in the cemetery the other day. And before I leave, we will retire it. I have it right here. And I'm going to take this flag. It's very tattered. It was laying on the ground near a grave. I'm going to remove it from the stick here a second, and then we'll go and retire it. I'll be right back. Okay, folks. We have a